We are here at the Queen's Park, Savanna, with Pastor Jason Bechu from Faith Assembly, who's here supporting and showing solidarity with the A21 Walk for Freedom cause for counter trafficking, against human trafficking, and the ill effects, the global effect that human trafficking and modern-day slavery is having on the world today. What does this event mean to you, and how important is it for this event to happen?
Well, it's very important because there's a saying that I've grown up with, especially when I was in college, and the statement was, it was the very first statement I've learned, was that the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. And when I've looked around in the situation that we're dealing with, especially after drugs, you have human trafficking that is dominating, but nobody's saying anything. And especially in our country, in Trinidad and Tobago, I don't know if it's because of fear, I don't know if it's because of anxiety over the situation, but I've realized that if we don't say anything, if our voice goes silent, then that's what creates it to be dominant, is because there's this sense of, well, we can get away with it, we could do it, and there's no opposition. And I think it's time to adjust some things in our country. And I've also heard that you can't even prosecute someone that is involved with human trafficking because there's no laws to govern it. And so we're just here, and it's important to us because we need to say something. We need our voice to be heard, and especially for those that don't have a voice, that we speak up for them and begin to bring some change in this area.
What kind of statement does this make when you see this many people come together to
This is an amazing statement that is a start. And obviously, just us by showing up today, it doesn't mean that we're going to immediately change it, but it's just going to bring an awareness of the fact that this problem is real. It is happening in Trinidad. We cannot turn a blind eye. But just to see everybody coming out to say, you know what, yes, it is a problem, and we need to do something about it. It shows the extent of the problem here in Trinidad, and that it needs to be dealt with. And that we need the support of people that can step up and say, you know what, I could make a change in this situation. And even to bring awareness, in terms of how to even protect our families against these injustices, and it's going to go a long way. And just the fact that everybody's here saying, you know what, I want to protect my family, I want to make sure that my voice is heard as well, and contributing, it really means a lot. And I'm so proud of everybody for showing up today. With this awareness that there will be people from within our government system that would pay attention and say, you know what, this is a need of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and they are crying out, and let's do something to make some change. And I believe now, as I know governments have had they've had some hard negative things said against them, the systems don't work, but you know what, I still believe in Romans 13, where the Bible talks about that the government has been instituted by God. And yes, there are going to be people that have abused the power in it, but the whole institution was designed for the protection of a nation. And once the right people are there that could say the right things and do the right things and implement the right things, we could literally see a healing of a nation. And so I'm calling and I'm appealing to those that have a voice within our governmental structure to stand up, say something, do something, implement some laws that can really begin to curb this epidemic that's taking place in Trinidad and Tobago, and let's make this country a little bit safer.
We are here with Pastor Christina Bechu. She's helping as the local representative of A21, and she's helping to coordinate this vital and strategic event called Walk for Freedom. Christina, thank you for joining us on ACTN The Voice. Tell us a little bit about the background, how you got involved in A21.
Well, I've always been very interested about how human slavery could be going on in the 21st century. And several years ago, I saw an interview with Christine Caine, who is the head of A21. And it sparked something in my spirit to say that something has to be done, and that I was a part of abolishing human slavery in the 21st century. When I began to do some more research and understand what A21 was about, and I knew that it was an organization that I wanted to be linked with to be able to make that first step. And this was a very simple way that we could get the public involved and bring awareness to a necessary cause for justice. Even if we can just allow the government to see that the public genuinely wants answers and wants to see something moving forward to bringing awareness to the public to stop people from becoming victims. That if we can stop it and prevent it from happening, that is the easiest way, if we just bring awareness. The other thing that we want to see happen from this, that the government will realize, is that we care about individual people that are being affected by this and are being held against their will. We want to see something happen for the victims, and then also we want to see the perpetrators convicted. We want to see them, that justice happens for the victims and for the survivors. You know, it's wonderful to be able to have the support of people that are doing this on a global scale. A21 does this globally. They're in so many countries, and the countries have grown in awareness because of their involvement. So A21's involvement here in Trinidad is vital for us to be able to move forward to a solution. After this event, I pray that it brings awareness to them, that their eyes will be opened and they won't just be hidden. The issue isn't hidden from them anymore. They're aware. They can begin to pray immediately if they see a situation. That is the number one thing. As soon as you see it, you're aware of a situation and you begin to question and say, you know, is that person being held against their will? Or, you know, this doesn't seem like a healthy situation. Immediately, if that person now is aware of what it could be, they can begin to pray and ask the Lord to give them direction on how to handle it, and possibly the step would be then to act and to do something. So prevention, awareness, and then for us as a country to be aware that it is happening. It is happening. It's not hidden, that it's getting out there in the public and that people know.
Well, we've been talking to Christina Bechu, coordinator and organizer of the A21 Walk for Freedom event here in Trinidad and Tobago on this global day that the event is happening. How many countries is this going on over around the world?
27 countries, but there's 471 walks happening today, right now. It started in London early this morning, actually it was yesterday for us here in Trinidad, and it's happening across the world today.
Well, we thank you for your time. You've been talking to us on ACTN The Voice, and we appreciate it. Appreciate your service and support of this great cause.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys too. Thanks, Rodney.
with Christophe, who's a very well-known graphic artist here in the country who participated in the walk. We just wanted to get your feedback and feelings after the walk, now that it's done and complete. Just tell us how you feel about the walk and what you hope for the future from this walk.
The way I see it is that this is awareness. This walk in particular is awareness, and that's the first step in, I don't know, making people understand what the problem is. There's a saying that the first step in addressing a problem is defining it. So what we've done is we put a definition of it. Human trafficking, slavery, right? And then bringing it within the concept of what's happening in Trinidad. This is not something that's not happening here. I don't know if people know that, but this is an international problem, but it's also a local problem. There are women right here in Trinidad that are in houses up and down the East-West Corridor, Woodbrook, Marbella, that can't leave and are forced to service multitudes of men in ways that I wouldn't even explain on this channel. So this is sad and it's serious. So I'm hoping that once the awareness is there, that the government will get involved and the local police force, everything. People will just start playing their role and eradicating this problem. What I want is people who may always be in the peripherals and may observe and stuff, for them to start taking care of their fellow man and understand that there are people here who don't have the freedom that they have, and be concerned about those people. Because that's the start. The start is really concern. If you're concerned about somebody, your reaction to their problem and their circumstance will be different. You'll be a lot more sympathetic, and you'll think a little bit more about what role you're supposed to play. Even seeing this much people here, I had no idea what to expect. And to come here and see, 350 people who actually care on minimal promotion shows that, now that people know, if we do this again next year, it's going to be off the charts. So I think people care. This group of people care. And I think there are other people out there that don't know that if they were introduced to the problem, they'll care too. So I think it's gonna work. I always bring my skill set to the table. I always work hard to bring design and social media to the table. So behind the scenes, I've been working with some of the guys like yourself and Christopher Paul and all these people to kind of pull things together, make sure things are hashtagged right, so that when we go up and people see what happens, it's in unison. So having you guys here is a big part of this. The media is the most important thing. We have individual small voices, but when you guys speak, it goes like that. So
and it goes to our name as well as a station.
Definitely. It's good to see ACTN the voice here, because if we don't have media people here, we could shout as loud as possible. The guys who drive past will see, but when you guys talk, the entire public listens. So
we appreciate you having us. We really appreciate it, because like you said, we've had multiple discussions about being a voice and giving people a voice. And that's why, in your participation here, as well as the 300-400 others, it was important having you here. And we really appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you.
Sherry Ann. We just wanted to get your feedback and feelings about the walk and what you came away with from this walk.
Okay, hi. Basically, I got involved because I'm a nurse, so I did the medical side of the walk. First, I must say, I'm grateful that there were no incidents, no accidents. I believe that the people who were here, it was a camaraderie feeling that people came out, they're fighting for a cause, and I felt that, I could feel that. I can feel the presence of everyone wanting to be involved in something that is affecting our nation and affecting the world. So for me, I felt privileged to be part of this today. I believe for me, I would be more aware of my surroundings, of people. Sometimes we may see people around and, not pay attention. So I need to be more active, proactive in, just looking out for my brothers and my sisters, looking out for the nation. So I want to be more involved in that because I know it's happening. And I want to see Trinidad and Tobago take a stance in this, in abolishing this what is happening, this human trafficking. It's gone beyond a joke now. So I really need that to be stopped right now. I want to be effective in that. Being that it was just consolidated around the Savanna, I would like to see it probably go down the streets and go actually into the promenade and Independence Square, where on Saturdays there are more people around those areas. So I would like to see that, future, that is more people. And then when we start a walk, it's going to reach Independence Square, and the last person is going to be around the Savanna.
I will respond.
What do you feel now after the walk and the impact that you've made?
It was an incredible experience I was in the back of the line, to be able to see how many people were representing the victims and the survivors of human trafficking. And to see that line formed in a single file line, silently making a stand, caused something inside of me to realize that we're not just making a walk, we're not just making a stand, but it really is the first step to a global problem of what can be done here in Trinidad and bringing awareness to that. And the reaction from the people on the street was very touching. It was very touching to see the public's response.
What's the feedback you're getting from the people who participate? What's the initial feedback you're getting?
A lot of horn honking, a lot of thumbs up, a lot of people that are walking hungry for the handouts that we're giving them that give information. And one of the most amazing things that happened is people stopped us and they just wanted to know more about it. They wanted to know not just about A21, but also how do they find out more information? They wanted to understand it. And, ignorance is stopped by wanting to understand. And that was exactly what the awareness walk was for. The first step after the cleanup is to go and to send an email to everyone that was involved, or those that for some reason could not make the walk but said that they wanted to be involved, and find out how many of those people are willing to come on board to make a stand and to be able to be a voice for the victims in Trinidad. It was amazing to know that Trinidad was represented worldwide and only one of the 27 countries, and we were one of them. So that first step will be determined after we sit down and we have some really intense talks with people and see exactly what they are willing to be involved with on a local level.
Now, I know that the walk is an annual global event, but is there opportunity or strategies that you can do smaller, more intimate, or other locales and other locations? You can do other smaller events that also raise awareness?
Yes, there are several. And A21 gives you opportunities to that. You can go on their website, a21.org, and you can look to see how you can, as simple as writing a survivor. We had a booth today where people could go and write letters to survivors. And that is an encouragement for someone that has been held in captivity and is separated from their family, for someone in the world to simply want to say, I'm here and I care about you. I care about you as an individual. So there are many ways that you can be involved. Besides writing a survivor, you can go on a21.org and find out how you can be involved. You can donate to A21 directly, or you can actually do it in a local area with someone. So you can just begin to put the feelers out there and talk to people that you know that are involved around in Trinidad, or go again onto a21.org.
In one last sentence, just to conclude the whole thing, what would you say is the greatest success of this whole thing?
Awareness, being awakened to the problem, and becoming a part of the solution. Thank you, Trinidad, for being one of the 27 countries that represented the victims of human trafficking. We want to see the victims being moved to survivors, and you were a part of that, raising awareness against the injustice that is happening in the 21st century. Thank you for abolishing this injustice. And we are so honored that Trinidad would be represented.
Said it would never happen, then walked at the door, yeah, once again. Can't even start to imagine a life without you, I can't understand.